We don't have high-paid lobbyists. We don't have a lot of money. Here are some of the things we do have. The most people living with HIV and AIDS, the most poverty, the most sexually transmitted infections, the most people without health insurance, the most vulnerable populations, the fastest growing epidemic, the least access to health care, the highest mortality rates, and the least resources to deal with this crisis.
Brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty.
The only thing we have to fear is...
I have a dream that one day...
Government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
It was kind of a weird process for how it started, because it was, I guess if you wasn't paying attention to it, you wouldn't even notice that it was actually happening. Back then, our neighborhood was really, really thick with people. I mean, so thick until if somebody just disappeared or walked away, you wouldn't even notice it. I think I was about 11, maybe going on 12. He was standing out with a bunch of the guys from the neighborhood. It was maybe like 4 or 5 of them. He started calling my name and asking me, you know, come here, come here, come here, come here. We got there, and he passed his door and actually went to a small garage that was in the back of the yard. The first time, we didn't really do anything. He just tried to kiss me, and, you know, that was that. The third time I went over there, he pulled down his pants, and I'm like, what is he doing? So then he grabbed my head and pulled it down. I'm like, okay, this is weird. Eventually, after so long, he actually had sex with me. It maybe happened like once, twice a week. And for years, I just kept it to myself. I never told anybody. One day, after I first got my last job, it had maybe been 6 months after I got that job. He walked in, and I hadn't seen him in years. And, you know, he walked up to me like he was just so excited to see me. And I was so stunned, I went blank. I couldn't really do anything but look and nod. He was like, hey, Josh, what's up? And I was just...
Okay. Heather. What's Heather last name?
I don't know.
I gotta look. Hold on. Heather. Okay. Deborah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you say Jared or Jerry? What are you doing? She messing up. What are you doing? Don't put that. Okay, come on.
No, this
Katie. Yes. Kenny.
I started my own HIV support group. I've been doing the retreat for 11 years. This is probably the largest we've had with the least amount of funding. We provide empowerment, education, support. We're gonna have our roundtable discussion because a lot of people just need to tell their story. Tammy is the program coordinator, the person who keeps me in line. When our funding got cut, we had to decide what's next. Nobody is getting a check. From the kitchen all the way, nobody.
Glad to be in the service. Sing a tune.
I got
That's what Earth, Wind, and Fire say. When you feel down, I'll sing a song. It'll make you dance.
Hush, Tammy, hush. The resounding factor, HIV infection, is poverty. So what's up with poverty, I say? Instead of addressing HIV, let's address poverty. The retreat is gonna be held in a remote area, so it's kind of like they're in a lock-in. We're gonna have to feed 70 people 5 times. What we're hoping to do is show people how HIV does not define who you are. This is really a big production that we're pulling off here. And we're gonna pull it off. I have to replace these every 6 months. Thank you, sir.
One in every 16 black men has HIV in Washington, D.C. It's the highest in the United States. So it's not just the gay thing anymore.
Not anymore, huh?
No, so you be careful.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Good
Take
luck.
care. I spend about 120 nights a year away from Birmingham. That's a third of the year almost.
68, 67. If I don't do this travel and I don't do this national policy work, we lose funding.
So we probably should get started. I'm Kathie Hiers. I'm the CEO at AIDS Alabama. And unfortunately travel a lot to DC, and I'm very passionate about the epidemic that we have in the South part of the United States. Over half of the deaths from HIV have occurred in the South. That's not acceptable to me. It started with the white gay males, and so all the focus was there. When it started shifting to black heterosexual women, ooh, all the focus shifted over there. I see how the federal funds are distributed, and I can tell you a lot of it is not fair. How can you divide up all this money based on AIDS and not count the HIV? Aren't we trying to get people into care early enough so that it does them a lot of good? If you can't get in until you have an AIDS diagnosis, that goes against every public health guideline that there is. This is the part that gets my goat. Where the hell is the Department of Education? They are a no-show, let me tell you. It's all about money. It's all political. Right now we're in a period where it's really hitting young black gay males and heterosexual black women and Latinos and Latinas. And we're terrible about just abandoning one population to move on to the next hot population. And we can't do that because every time we do that, that population rises back up in the infections. So, you know, I know it's a tall order, but we've got to try to reach some kind of balanced approach. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you coming.
I do this pretty much every day or every other day for at least an hour. Sometimes 4, 5, 6, even 8 hours. I need to run because of the sense of release. When you internalize everything, it has a tendency to eat at you. It looked like it's October 97 or something. Oh, I can't read that one. Oh, get away! God! This one here is from the 1950s. I mean, these were people. And we were always taught to respect the dead. I mean, how could you allow this to happen to people's remains? I like to look at tombstones because they tell a story. Even if we die 100 years from now, these tombstones will still be here. September 17th. Actually, it's not far from my birthday. Well, except a year. Back in '07, just months after being told that I was HIV positive, I tried to commit suicide. It just seemed like everything that I had put my time, energy, and effort into had folded and turned on me. School flopped. I mean, my relationship flopped. My family was flopped. I mean, just everything around me just seemed like it was caving in. It just seemed like I didn't really have a reason to be here. I wasn't even serving a purpose, it felt like. I got all the pills, pretty much, poured them out on the table, went and got me a couple bottles of water, and just swallowed them down. I went in my closet, earned my little Sunday outfit, had my little white shirt and my little gray bottoms. Put them on, actually. I actually put it on and put on my tie, just waiting to die. Then I thought about it. Oh, my God, my mom's coming home. So I got out of church clothes and got back in regular clothes, hung those clothes back up, acting normal she was at home, and I puked. And by the time, before I could finish puking, I done hit the ground. And so she like, oh, shit, what you done did? And that's when I reached in my pocket and gave her the letter. She was like, oh, hell. So then she got me and took me to the hospital. And then the doctor was like, well, this medicine can't kill you. The only thing it's gonna do is make you sick, so now you just gotta sit here and throw it all up. So I sat there for about, at least an hour or two, just just throwing up for hours. Ooh. I would love to take a church like this and renovate it, but instead of making it a big mega church, make it exactly like it was. Because, you know, I think a lot of people miss that old southern feel of these churches like this. I would love to learn to play piano. I wanted to, but Mom wouldn't let me, well, she wouldn't send me to classes. So I just joined the choir. Come on, play for me. So I'm guessing this place must have been abandoned, what, 10, 20 years? Maybe more? They used to always tell us that we weren't allowed in the pulpit. And I understood why, but they said it was the most sacred part of a church. It feels so, I don't know. It doesn't feel so unnatural. This is the Bible Belt, but the only thing that you really get here in the Bible Belt is hypocrisy.
I have taken a strong stand on homosexuality, and the stand is, it stinks in the nostrils of God. AIDS is God's curse to homosexual life. Some say that homosexuality is not a sin. It is. Whether you're committing adultery, whether you are fornicating, whether you are a liar, or whether you're coveting, God hates all sin. I used to be a compulsive gambler. I didn't know what to do, and I heard the preacher preaching about you must be born again. We can't pick what sin we want to accept and what sin we want to discard. If God can save other folk from their sins, God can save and deliver the homosexual. Amen. You all be blessed.
What's wrong with you?
Stop it, girl. This is why we're late. Good morning. You're worthy, Lord. He's worthy, he's worthy, he's worthy. Hallelujah. Monica and I met in the grocery store, and we just started talking. She was genuine, you know, I could pick that up. You know how you find your soulmate in a romantic relationship? Well, it's kind of like life brings you friends like that. He's a wonder, he's a wonder. He's a mighty God, he's a mighty God. And so we just done decided, thick and thin, we in. I am sold out, I'm sold out, yes I am. I'm sold out. I ain't got no car seat. Go. Go. I don't have a car seat. Go. Tammy, catch up or she on 165? Yeah, get those cans off that counter. God, I'm gonna fall on my head. Roll it up, roll it up.
Well, where you supposed to be putting them eggs?
There's another box of eggs somewhere. Them going in Matt's car.
I thought you was about to go down.
Okay, Bridget, don't hurt yourself.
Anything else? Here, put this box on top of those cans, right? That red container thing. Yes. Don't we need to put a thing up there by the light on one of these that say a dream turn here? Up to the road. Last minute, we still working. Working out the door. Y'all finna go? I'm 28 years positive. I had a son in 1990. He was born with HIV. They said that he would develop AIDS and he probably wouldn't live to be 1. We started having birthday parties every month. We took pictures every day. We were just trying to get a lifetime worth of stuff in the time that we had. He passed when he was 3.5 years old.
Hey, Megan Ann, you missed me yet? I forgot we had our meeting this morning, so obviously we'll need to postpone. Can you get with Amy and schedule it sometime for when I'll be there? Okay. Oh, well. I think I'm back in D.C. next week anyway. Well, thank you very much. I'm so glad I don't have to go to that. What I don't want us to lose sight of is that this is a social disease. If a person doesn't have a safe, decent, affordable place to live, definitely medical treatment takes a back burner.
You must be Miss Kathie.
And that's what we try to get our colleagues to understand, but it's challenging.
And I'm going to get all these apartments renovated. You know, we're having to do them one by one, but I'm going to get them all done eventually. Boy, this is a big kitchen.
It is.
Nice color, too. This looks great. You know, when we first inherited this complex from Volunteers of America, every corner you would round and in the elevator were these little piles of tobacco where people were taking the tobacco out of their cigarettes and smoking crack. You know, you know, and there was all kinds of stuff going on here. Well, this is exciting. 3 down, 12 to go.
For a lot of our clients, the HIV is not even their top problem.
He says it's not leaking, but there's something.
Oh, man.
I don't know if the wood's rotted underneath that, so he's going to look at that tomorrow.
Something is wrong with that. And what's that big shingle there?
We're looking in the future to acquire these two.
Those two.
Knock them down.
Because they're like drug houses. If we could knock them down.
Yeah.
we could get rid of them.
You could definitely tell where our property starts and everybody else's stops.
I think so anyway.
Yep. Yep.
When I first came to work at AIDS Alabama, my board thought I should stay in Birmingham, focus on development. They actually saw that we got more funding because of my work in advocacy on a federal level than if I had stayed home and helped my development director with local fundraising. If you don't grow, you die.
There are so many different levels of secrecy. We walk around with smiles on our face. On the inside, we're screaming. My mom and dad divorced the year after I was born. There was a lot of abuse between them. He put a gun to her head and in her mouth. And he actually shot the gun and grazed her arm. This is the person that could have killed the most valuable person in my life. My family is kind of anti-homo, I guess you can say. It's like, as long as you're doing it in private, I don't care. But when they see it, it bothers them. I'm probably leaving. Well, I'm leaving Monday. So I won't be here.
Where are you going?
Back home.
Why?
My financial aid didn't go through. I'm just gonna pack up and I'm gonna leave.
Okay. I'm gonna have some room to eat. I'm gonna get some breakfast.
Can I at least have a hug or something?
Sure.
Don't be no stranger. Look me up on Facebook or something. I tried so many times to finish my education, to put everything in perspective and do everything by the books. And every time I did that, everything still fell apart. I leave so much and I go away to Jackson and Memphis and Atlanta and Nashville and all these different places because when I'm home, that's a clone, somebody that wants to be me.
I know that's not the stick, I'm telling you. Let's try to get this side to stick.
It's hot, guys.
Put it on.
I have on
No,
a
put it
navy
on the top.
shirt and I'm sweating down over here.
1, 2, 3, hit. Uh-oh. Miss Jones! Please don't fall, man. Now, I thought it wasn't gonna stick.
But I need to, all y'all ain't got it. So come, some of y'all, come on, Josh and Cole, come on. Come on.
Man, what you is, 115 maybe on the good day?
115.
I hit it on the head.
Okay, I'll go further.
We need to take.
Thank you, nurse. Let's suture her up. She's finished.
I can't find anything. Everything is totally disorganized.
Dreams.
Let me tell you, I need you to get 2 more chairs and put at this table so we'll have 3 all the way across. Okay?
Diane, don't do that.
Pay for you. Here y'all go.
The majority of the people are here. We have some people from Lafayette, New Orleans, Mississippi, the Dallas area, from Georgia. A lot of people were lost, but everybody got here. Hi, how are you, Mr. Ronald? Okay. Did everybody get a pink sheet? This is for food allergies, if you have any food allergies.
Food allergies?
Oh, I'm sorry.
scroll.
Welcome to Dream 2011. As you see, we way down in the jungle deep. So I know a lot of you all thought you were lost, but you made it. Here we are. This is Monica. Monica is the executive director, founder of Heroes. This is her brainchild that you're enjoying today. We have seniors. That's our group that we brought from Columbia that we work with. And they're going to be here helping us out. And since we know that no one can hear on an empty stomach, we're going to eat.
What's going on? I'm gonna get you. No, you could have been in the kitchen with me. Don't come up and stand next to me.
We didn't have a big enough plate, did we? No food and we had a plate. Sure did.
People know real people. People know when you just bullshitting or not. We've been to a lot of conferences where it's thousands of people. But a little thing like Dream, you can actually get to know people's names. We have to create that first. And at that point, the walls have come down and they can embrace what we have to offer. As you probably have figured out, we are roughing it. Probably as rough as some of us are brave enough to go. If it's a problem, please come see us. We want to fix it if we can, okay? Any questions?
This is my team. Golly. Now, this is 1993. There I am. That's me. You see, I got braces on both my knees. Bad call-up. We were so poor, we were always begging for money. We didn't have a sponsor. So we were poor like a third world country. I coached it, and we had it for 20, 25 years, and it fell apart after I moved away. I initially thought I was going to be an attorney, but then I ran for student government president at my college and won, and realized what a nasty business politics is. So I decided maybe I don't want to be an attorney or a politician. Then the AIDS epidemic hit, and I started losing friends. I lost so many friends. At one point, I actually threw my address book away and started over. Okay, let's see. I do like between trips to have a few days at home, but I don't always get that. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. The next 3 weeks or so, I'm traveling a lot. I will admit there have been times, when I was fighting different legislation, I had little groups of people that would follow me around at conferences and heckle me, which was hard as somebody who grew up in this Southern culture, and I want people to like me, And that's really ingrained in us in the South. That's why we're all yes ma'am and yes sir and all that, and bucking authority is hard for most people. Actually got a death threat from somebody in New York.
Give out the last 3 numbers here for the signature.
A lot of my friends ask me why I stay in the South, which is a good question. That's a fair question.
on the 10 towards your destination. Make the next legal U-turn.
I'm doing all right. How you doing? I was gonna get $10 on the phone. I'm one of the rural case managers. We help people who are living with HIV and AIDS.
Okay.
Here's some information on what CARES is.
Because there's so many I know that this would benefit from.
There's very limited resources up this way.
Yeah.
Very limited,
it is,
so.
it is.
All right, thank you, ma'am. My mom's always there for me, supporting me in every way imaginable, but this family here gives me something that I just can't get anywhere else.
This is a gay family.
Hi,
Hey.
How are you? You know, I had went back to school last week.
Okay. Just sick?
Yeah, and I'm going back home this week. Well, it's coming.
Okay. You still on campus or?
Yeah, I was on campus.
Why are you going back home?
They didn't give me no financial aid at all. No.
Oh, so you gotta wait.
I gotta finish, man. It's gotta happen. I just look forward to relaxing with Cedric or possible barbecue or get together.
Oh, gracious God, Lord, thank you so much for this food that we're about to eat, Lord. Thank you so much for us being able to eat, Lord. And we want to thank you for this unity, Lord. Thank you for this family, a family that you put together, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. You ready? Go eat.
Some people call me the dad of Jackson. I have about 15 to 20 gay sons. They don't have anyone to turn to. I'm trying to be there as a support system.
Tanisha's my baby girl. She's my actual biological daughter.
I am too.
Come from my sperm. Josh is too. One of the things that I always tell the guys that said they ask me if they want to be there, I said, look, if I see you doing something wrong, I would treat you just like I would do my child. If you want me to be your dad, then respect me. You know, don't come to me trying to come on to me because
But see, another thing about it is that, you know, when you come in this kind of family structure, if you go to your family, they're not gonna understand some of the things that you're telling them as far as your feelings toward a man or you being HIV positive. They're not gonna understand it. They're not gonna tell you, you know, what to do or how to take it or any of that. All they can tell you is, you know, good luck.
I can't talk to my real brothers. I can't talk to them like that. I mean, but him, this is my brother right here. I've been knowing him. I mean, he's practically, actually, my real brother, really, for real.
Yeah. When I die, he gonna be on the obituary, brother.
You know, your friends are your family. You pick for yourself. I got a lot of family. All of them ain't biological, but I do have a lot of family. So you decide, and I know everybody can't get everything out of this space, but look like it ought to be something. Out of everything that we've tried to put together, you ought to be able to get something, just one something. Some people, instead of pulling out what they can from this gathering, they're going down the checklist. It's not this, it's not that. And we can go through life doing that, and that's all we're gonna have in our life is a lot of knots. And then if that's how you're gonna look at life, get happy being unhappy, because that's what's gonna be up.
Yeah, but okay, another issue that I personally dealt with, the South, right? Family. It's all about family. We're really close-knit families, right? But yet my family You know, we don't even talk about it. My daddy will pull me off to the side and say something like, son, I don't want you going there and using my dishes. I don't want you got your set of forks that I want you to use. 20 years later, no one in my family has caught HIV from me. And then I tell you that it ain't transmitted this way or that way, and the fear and the phobia, and that's why people don't talk about it.
There's a lot of decisions you have to make about your life. Decisions you're gonna have to make on your own. Nobody's gonna be there. And not just sexual decisions. Not just the high school seniors are getting community service hours, academic enrichment, personal and social skills, and they're getting exposed to people living with HIV. You know, I know y'all have seen some people who graduated 2 or 3 years ago. What are they doing now? With their mom. Nothing. With their mom, nothing. Drug addicts now, 2 or 3 kids. You think that when they was in your shoes, they were saying, well, I'm gonna race right away and become a drug addict. Do you think they did that? Probably. Of course not. It just happened. You gotta set yourself up to be successful. For our kids, our goal and focus has always been prevention today, so they're not my clients tomorrow. It ain't no right or wrong. Okay, let me say, I'm not the art teacher. That's Tammy's job, but she says no right or wrong. So what you do is just come up with some kind of little design and
just kind of be creative.
Yeah. Amber, what's wrong, baby? That's all I'm gonna get.
That's all you gonna get.
I need something else. We gotta make our quilt.
I don't do art. I don't like art. I don't draw.
Okay, look, I'm gonna sit down and help you come up with something. These things cost a lot of money, so we can't be just putting no naked white thing up there. Come on. I do this to my students all the time. Come on.
Now you're gonna crowd it if you do any more than that.
Look,
honestly,
boxes.
I just ain't in the mood.
I know, but
this ain't my thing. I do the important things.
All this important. It's important to me. And for us, on that quilt up there, it's 2 people up here who's not here today. That's got my heart heavy because they're not here today. Because, you know, when I look at that quilt, that's what this quilt square means. You know, it's just a quilt square to y'all, but really and truly, when I look up there, I think about it. And last year, I never would have thought that they were going to get a quilt square this year. Never would have thought. So, now that match you.
If you happy, I'm happy.
I'm happy. I'm happier. I was already happy. I'm happier. Tammy,
Who can give me the meaning of STD?
STDs are sexually transmitted diseases spread from person to person through sexual contact.
Okay. Have you heard the term, whatever. If you went out with a girl and you thought she was a very good girl, very nice girl, would you attempt to, no, you have what for her?
Respect.
Respect? Might be your wife one day, huh? Okay. What is the best way to avoid getting an STD? Henry?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because if you don't do it, how can you get it?
Okay. Okay, mix some up. Okay, mix a little bit up. Well, just do a good 5-second rule. Now, you got a cup of tea. That's yours, okay? Now, you can keep your cup, or you can share some with a friend. Now, you have STD.
Oh!
Okay. You know your homework, hit the internet, okay? If you ain't got that, check some books out. Tomorrow, we're good. 26. Hey. Hi, Hunter.
How are you, Hunter Walton? Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I like your suit. Again, I have to push for something that represents smaller America or rural America. So we certainly have to come up with a better way to distribute funding. The South really gets cheated a lot. It's largely because we don't have people speaking up for us. I told you the amount of money that we're talking about is roughly $300 million, right? What the San Francisco AIDS Foundation has run numbers on is they want to keep the 25% bonus, but instead base it on fair market rent and poverty. Now, that does not at all get to what I wanted, because they would only be looking at poverty in the urban areas, which totally would leave out rural America and the South. It doesn't have to be so complicated, but I've learned to accept that's just the nature of politics. Politics makes everything complicated. And by the same token, that's why the South gets screwed on most of the funding, because we don't have the people in DC, the lobbyists and all.
The problems we're starting with less money to begin with.
Right.
I mean, that's the issue. It's not, well, moving around is an issue too.
True. And I look forward to seeing you face to face, sir. Bye-bye.
Another request to speak at a conference. It's never ending. Welcome to the second annual Red Ribbon Concert presented by the Magic City Choral Society. Although we have some HIV education and knowledge about the disease, the numbers, see, this sucks. Sorry.
I hate that he gave me a script. I've never had anybody give me a script before.
Okay. Welcome to the second annual Red Ribbon Concert presented by the Magic City Choral Society. Even though we do have HIV education, as well as an understanding of the disease in the community, I've got to tell him I don't like that either. We have so little HIV education, it's embarrassing. Even though we have HIV education and some understanding of the disease in the community, the numbers have continued to increase each year. The numbers have increased by 20% in the last 5 years. I don't even know where he got that. Now prepare to be entertained, moved, and inspired to join the fight. Thanks so much.
Very good. Let's do that again. That was very good.
This point right now is either me staying home and continue to go on this downward spiral, or I can make a change. I would love to leave Greenville, but my mom, she's really depending on me as far as family affairs. Oh, how about we was filming in the room today, right? And a knock comes at the door. And in my dorm room.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this guy I had met. I was drenched in sweat, of course, because of the running. And after we exchanged numbers or whatever, he asked me, why were you sweating so bad, and why was the cameraman there? I guess he thought I was making a porno. I just said it's not what you think. Oh my God, then I sent my mama this letter like I was like a runaway letter before I left today. I was like, dear Mom, I have gone to Jackson and I am doing a documentary about HIV. Love, Josh.
She called?
She has not called, text, barked, nothing. It was crazy at the house. Got them grandkids there.
Okay, where's the mom and the dad?
The dad, ain't no telling. He probably, God knows who, where.
Okay, so when is Josh gonna start living his life?
I know, but they're my nieces. I don't want them to turn out right.
Josh, you'll be seeing it forever, but there's only so much you can do. Honestly, there's only so much you can do.
You had a point.
10 years from now, you're gonna be like, "Oh, I wish I'd have done this," but no, I decided to stay here because, you know, you got to live your life for you. If you believe and trust in God, then He's gonna take care of you regardless. You know, you put your life on hold for other folks, and you ain't living your life. So it's time for Josh to live Josh's life. You're 24. Trust me, you're not gonna get any younger.
I'm getting younger at heart.
I'm young at heart too, but I'm young in age.
What I wanted to know is what's going on in y'all areas, because we're always talking about the lack of funding, the lack of services. I'm in North Louisiana, rural. She's in New Orleans, the city, and we're having some of the same dilemmas. So what you got?
We're fighting almost an invisible battle in Texas, because on one hand you're trying to advocate and fight, and then you have the national strategy. Is it really real? You know, is that for real? Is that a joke? So you got the strategy pushing, testing. Okay, people get tested.
What?
Then where's the truth?
Yeah.
Because in Mississippi, there's a lot of services we don't have that we're trying to, just trying to get some of the basics in a lot of areas. I mean, there's areas in the deltas, like even a third world country.
Not only our clients are suffering, but even individuals who have a passion for the work, they're suffering because they can't do what they have their hearts desire to do, whether they're state employees or small community-based organizations. Their ends are trying to meet also.
Well, we're not the larger AIDS Service Inc., because I call them AIDS Service Incorporations, because that's what they are. They're not nonprofits, they are incorporations. That's where the money's gonna go.
Okay. Now, what I want you to do is to turn around. Now, I want each one of the twos, it should be an even number, to come and face one of the ones. Ain't no threesome.
You in jail?
Still got one left out.
Listen, get in where you fit in.
So, I want you to look into the eyes of the person that's standing in front of you, and I want you guys to communicate no talk. Okay, stop. Now, how was that?
One thing I know for a fact that we were both confused.
Now what I want you to do is to find another partner. When we touch you, you need to make the person in front of you laugh. But there should be no verbal communication.
No, you do it slow, dude.
No, you gotta have your mouth. You gotta, your mouth is open.
Oh, okay.
We, as you know, as you can tell, we have another program going on.
Yes.
One of the things that Heroes does is we address real issues and real things. You've seen some people who look different than what you're accustomed to seeing. Yes. Welcome to what you're getting ready to go to, which is called the real world. You still have to respect what a person chooses to do with their life. And as you grow older and get around people, you're going to come in contact with a lot of different kinds of people. And you need to make sure that you respect people for their decisions they make. So that just needs to be said. Okay, now,
A lot of y'all don't know me. A lot of y'all do. I'm not the easiest person to get along with. I know y'all can't see it now. Look, I know. Look, I know. Kenny, don't shake your head back there. I see your head. I am not the easiest person to get along with all the time. But guess what it is? It's because I tell all of my friends, everybody who's in my circle, I don't have time and T-cells to waste. So if you cost me one, I will put you out of my life.
I just wanted to say that this whole opportunity, this whole weekend, we were like
on the way here, and we didn't even know what to expect. You know, we didn't know what the lineup would be like and the living situations. But I tell you, since I've been here, the opportunity to just to be a part and a little bit of expectations to be moved away, and the boundaries that I live as a person with HIV. I'm not very close to a lot of people, and especially have any kind of intimacy with many people anymore, because I think, you know, like maybe I'm contaminated or the people, you know, but this circle represents the opportunity to move on from that and really to be able to be connected.
I always thought I had my life all together. I used to think that, and nobody couldn't tell me, even if I didn't have any money. I just thought that everything's gonna be all right. I'm gonna pray about it, and I'm gonna go on. I always knew I was raped as a child, molested. And it's two different things, whether you molested, fondled, or whatever, or raped. I was both. But I didn't know who did it until 2006, and after the tragic of Katrina, losing everything NRP's had to rebuild all of that, and just going through trauma, I remembered who did it, and it was my cousin. He said, whatever I did to you, I did it before I was 17. That's what he told me. So that let me know, one, that he was the one that raped me. Two, he don't give a damn about it. And three, he is a Baptist full gospel minister that be on the TV all the time. I drove here by myself. I've been by myself for the last 5 days because I had to figure out something for me. And you know what I figured out? Fuck him.
Wow.
Fuck him.
Yeah. 2 times.
Yeah.
Right.
So to me, coming here and looking at this circle, you admitting you're not contaminated, baby. Everybody else around you is contaminated. Amen. So my word for the day is what? Fuck them. Y'all know how to do it? Come on, you ready? Oh, wow, that's my song. Get in there. Wait a minute.
Welcome, cameraman. Get a picture.
Good evening. Welcome to the North American Housing and HIV/AIDS Research Summit 6. This conference and many of these esteemed researchers, sorry, come on out. I'll start over. This conference and many of these esteemed researchers have helped to shift the paradigm of how people perceive HIV housing. But I can't help but note the irony of the fact that we have reams of data proving that HIV housing is not only cost effective, but also reduces risky behaviors that lead to transmission and substantially improves health outcomes. Housing is just about as basic as you can get for a need.
Miss Tammy. Yes. Guess what? I'm 90 days clean. Today. I'm doing good.
That's what's up.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Kathie.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Did they ever print me up a...
I hand-wrote one, and the printer just started working, so I'm about to print one too.
Okay, thank you.
Money is always the issue.
Money is always the issue. Oh, that's for sure. Well, there are my favorite two researchers in the whole wide world. Hi,
Good to
sweetie.
see you, yeah.
Hey! Everything going all right? Starbucks, I love it. Let me say, I'm not speaking as a member of the Presidential Advisory Council. I'm speaking as the CEO of AIDS Alabama. Probably some of you will like what I have to say, and some of you probably won't. But I'm going to give you my opinion, and I'll try to be as objective as I can. I don't want to destabilize any good systems that have done a good job and have lowered transmission rates and are keeping people healthy. Those are fantastic. People are not progressing to AIDS as quickly. So that makes the AIDS count even less relevant. AIDS alone is not appropriate anymore. But the reality of our world is we're in terrible economic times. And I have to look out for people in poor rural areas, especially in the South, who have almost nothing available to them. So, you know, if we could look at where the money should be going and then establish some fair, hold harmless, and gradually move the dollars to where people are living with HIV and are in need. You know, that makes sense to me.
This is my one straight son. What's going on? How you doing? I'm good. I can't complain. I heard this.
This is Josh.
What's going on, Josh? How you doing, man?
We're going back and forth. We're going to check out on the cover.
Kind of quiet, huh? You don't say much.
You don't got nothing to say. You got nothing to say.
You smile a lot. What's going on, Dimitre? Josh. All right, nice to meet you, Josh.
That's all you're going to get out of him is his name. A sentence, he don't do sentences. He do one word and a phrase.
And a smile.
Yeah, beautiful smile, beautiful smile.
Oh, yeah,
wonderful.
I do talk.
I tell you what,
Oh, man, no loyalty.
Yes, I did.
I'm staying
All y'all that don't know, this is Josh. This is my little song from Greenville. This is son Dale. This is friend Joe. Or however y'all want to put it. Just for the record, this is my sister.
It's rarely that I feel so loved and just so accepted. This is only my second time being around them. But every time I'm around this gay family, it's almost like being an African American. There is no denying your heritage.
I ain't had to do with that.
Lying.
I ain't had to do with that.
Who you lying?
I was just a messenger. Don't kill a messenger.
Move!
Look now, you can't be flinching every time a bug fly by.
I be telling you,
We outside, man.
Man.
No. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me, that was the bird.
The man. Yeah, that's okay when y'all having them big bellies hanging over y'all belt.
I exercise, thank you.
Which one of how many brothers is this?
Lord knows who.
I don't recognize that cop.
Excuse me. From right here. Shut up, it's better out than in. Wait a minute. Whoa, hold on. Time out.
That's a picture that you can't see.
Let me see.
Oh, now I gotta delete them.
No!
Hey, me, you can't see me. I'm family. This incest like a motherfucker.
Who is he?
That's Paulo.
Who is he?
That's Rob.
Who is he?
That's my head. I told you, get my phone.
I've been thinking about something. What? I've been really trying to go to college, but it's not working out. So maybe I should probably just get a job and just work with it.
No, who did? That's what I'm doing. I'm not the working type, so I want to get a job.
Who that woman?
I don't know, Miss Sigler, but we gonna find out.
Oh man, it went away. Come back. Boy.
I couldn't take AZT. AZT fatigued me out so bad, couldn't function on it. But, and so at that point, yeah, it was a death sentence. I didn't think I'd see my children out of high school, let alone see 10 more grandchildren born and me raising one of them.
You see, if I took them in the morning, I got sick. If I took them in the evening, I got sick. If I had to take them at night, 15 minutes after I take them,
well,
I can go to La La Land.
You have to have a doctor who's willing to talk with you and listen to you. You have to, because everybody's body is different.
It was a death sentence when I first found out I was positive. For me, it was I found out in prison. Me and the doctor was sitting in the room. They said, "You got AIDS. I give you this." She was talking to somebody else. I figured I'd get out, start drugging and drinking, borrowed money from loan company. I'd be dead in 6 months anyhow. Come to find out 5 years and pay it. Now I got the bills collected. I got the bills collected looking for me. Dude with big old pistols wanted to kill me.
Oh.
That shit that should have hit the fan.
Smile again. Smile big.
I don't dare smile my picture.
Ooh, you take pretty pictures. People usually don't get to tell their story at home. And people need to tell their story. It's like a burden being lifted.
Yeah, girl.
Okay. Thank y'all so much for coming. This is a very special part of the retreat for me. At this point, we always stop to try to remember people we've lost. And so last year we lost a real good friend of mine. So I'm gonna start off lighting the candles for a friend of mine named Chris. Come on, Abe. And if you want to come and light a candle for someone, please do.
For Nathaniel.
My cousin named Larry. I lost quite a few of them along this way, you know.
Sometimes we fail to realize the definition of family. Some of us count our blood family as family. And some of us count our closest friends and colleagues our family. If Cedric didn't open me up to this family, I would probably be yet another statistic, one of those guys that live the double life, trying to figure out what society wants versus what I want. Whatever is wrong down the line, we have to go back and fix it. In order to fix it, we have to find out what went wrong.
It'll be a happy day when we go out of business. Couldn't mean that any more sincerely. I would love for my job not to be needed. But I don't really see an end in sight yet. I am hopeful that things are changing. But it's a slow change. I worry about the South. Tomorrow is actually my busiest day. You know, I have to give a welcoming in the morning, but I haven't really thought about it. I'm gonna shut those curtains. Otherwise it'll get me up early. It's nice to be out of the car.